What's up, guys? Toogie here, back again, this time with something just a little bit different. Now, I am so excited for the start of this series. If you've poked around on my channel, or if you've been here since the start, you would know I started a FIFA career mode way back when, a couple of months ago, with Liverpool, the team that I support, and I do plan on restarting that eventually. But the perfect opportunity has presented itself for me to return to doing FIFA career modes. Again, I love FIFA. I play it as much, if not more, than NHL. And even if you don't know FIFA, know this. This series, the entire point of this series is to rebuild AC Milan into the Champions League powerhouse that it once was, all while being led by 16-year-old, although I believe he just turned 17 years old, the Italian wonder kid Gianluigi Donnarumma will be in net, hopefully, for this entire series. Now, as we get right into this, and as you take a look at the calendar, we got extremely lucky. The opening transfer window, we have a free month to work with, and again, I'm going to be changing this team a lot. Feel free to, just load up the game to see who we have on the roster. Maybe check out FIFA if you want to really look into it, but I have plans for this roster. It's going to change a lot, and as you can see, we only have 3 games between the start of the series and the transfer window closing. So in this episode, we will be playing these first 3 games. We'll leave a day or 2 open as well after the Empoli game to try and maybe make some last-second moves, but again, we have over a month, about a month and a half, before we even have to play our first game, so we have plenty of time to make changes. And I should note too, as far as these games go, we'll probably just go in highlight form. I will be playing all of the games, but I want this series to flow. I want us to move quickly throughout these seasons. And again, while I'm not going to give you a full look at the roster, you see the default starting lineup for AC Milan. They are stacked, absolutely stacked with strikers, many of whom that we cannot move for the first half of the season, so that could create a few issues. And you'll see too in the left hand corner, our left wing, we have Niang, the other main player we are going to build around. Whether or not we play him as striker or left wing is unknown. We do have El Shawari on loan still at Roma, who we could recall for under $1 million. A quick note as well, as far as training goes, I want your input on a lot of things in the series. Training is one of the big ones because a lot of people view it as overpowered. Now, for this episode, we focus solely on Donnarumma and Niang to get them as much progression as possible, but if you think we should balance it out a little bit more, let me know. Again, it might be a little bit too easy to just simply give them all of the training and boost them up as quickly as possible. Another quick note, our manager objectives, we only have 2. No Champions League or Europa League competition for us, so the only 2 goals are League and Domestic Cup. The first is to reach the round of 16 in the Domestic Cup, which I would hope would be possible, and then qualify for Champions League, which again, solely plan on winning our league, winning the Serie A, but of course we have plenty of competition between Inter, Juventus, and many others. Now, leading up to our first game, we had some business to take care of. These are the transfers out. First up, it's Christian Abbiati, 37-year-old goalkeeper, sending him off to Anderlecht. We're just going to take the main offer. We don't need him. He's 4th on the depth chart in terms of goalkeepers anyway. Next up, we have Stefan Simic, a young player who's not really going to crack our lineup, doesn't really have the potential. I'm not going to show you all of the guys that we're loaning out that aren't going to crack our lineup, but essentially with Simic, he's one of the players we're going to loan out for 2 years, and then once he comes back, hopefully his value is a little bit higher and we can get a little bit more out of him than 400,000. Andrea Poli, another player we're sending out, not the worst player in the world, still a younger player, 76 overall, could have some use, but we're going to bring in some players that have a better future and that will better fit the play style I want to use. Next up, and this was perhaps the toughest transfer out yet, Jeremy Menez. Again, we have a log jam of strikers. He does fit my play style, but it's just a little bit too much money to pass up on. He's not going to be here for too long, even if we kept him. It's a tough pill to swallow. I'm hoping it's the right move. We end up selling him to Crystal Palace. And the last transfer out for now before our first game, Ricardo Montolivo. Again, not a bad player to probably have right now, but he doesn't really fit our style. We can get a decent return for him. 79 overall at 30 years old, doesn't really fit into the big picture. Better to get rid of him now and allow a younger player that actual play time so that we can have them develop. As for the transfers in, we have quite a few players to go over. First up for 7.8 million, it's Marios Oikonomou, a 75 overall, 22-year-old center back. Hopefully can be the future of this defense. After that, we have right back Ivan Lopez, 74 overall, at 20 years old for 6.8 million. More than willing to pick him up. He's going to have a lot of competition at the left back and right back position, but at the very least, he provides us some depth and potential. And speaking of his competition, for 12 million, it's Jetro Willems, the 78 overall, 21-year-old left back, 4-star skills. Of course, anybody who plays career mode or watches FIFA career modes, not exactly unfamiliar with Mr. Willems. Next up, it's a player for the future. It's the 66 overall cam, 18 years old, Abdelhak Nouri from Ajax, only 1.5 million. And why is he a player for the future? Because we also bought a cam for right now from Shakhtar Donetsk. It's Bernard, 78 overall cam at 22 years old for 15 million. I've yet to use this guy. I've always wanted to use him in a career mode, and now's the time. Yet another transfer, as for 12.5 million, we bring in center mid Bruno Fernandes. Again, another young player, well-rounded, can hopefully center and anchor our midfield for years to come. And our last transfer before our first game, it's one that I'm already reconsidering, but at the very least we'll have him for the first half of this season. Again, we have a logjam of players, although this really depends on whether or not I want to recall Stefan El Shawari and have him on the left. But for now, Wissam Ben Yedder for 20 million is in and is on this team. And finally, after all of that, it's our first game, the League Cup match against Livorno, going with a 4-4-2 formation. Niang and Ben Yedder up top, Bernard at cam, Bonaventura Fernandez as center mid with Bertolacci as our CDM, Willems, Romagnoli, Alex, our new captain, and DeCilio as our defenders, and of course, Donnarumma in net. By the way, if that bugs you that I say in net over in goal, it's a hockey thing, and I'm sorry, but we cut in to the 10th minute, our first great chance. Ben Yedder hits DeCilio on the outside, looks for a cross, and we get a penalty. This is something I forget a lot of the times that I play with it. I have handballs on, and again, that's another thing I want to know from you guys, along with the training and everything else. Should handball penalties be in the game? Of course, it's random. You don't really know what the player models are going to do. It's always coincidental in-game, whereas, in real life, someone can actually intentionally do it. So let me know, should we have handballs in the game? Fortunately for Livorno, karma kind of kicks in as the penalty is saved. We had our center back, Alex. Not a bad penalty rating, surprisingly. Alex takes the pen, and it is stopped. Cut now to the 42nd minute. Their keeper kicks it out. We win the header back to Wissam Ben Yedder, and this play highlights why I'm already loving this guy. Bernard, nice controlled touches. Reminds me so much of Shaqiri, just with that small base to him, so much balance, just short, concise touches, amazing control. I think he is going to be a highlight of this series as a whole. After the 1-0 goal for Bernard, though, the damage wasn't done. We get another late chance, a terrible free kick. The ball up to Ben Yedder, hits Niang on the counter attack. He is gone. Amazing speed, amazing control, and he powers it past the keeper. 2 goals in 3 minutes puts us up 2-0 before halftime. And again, Bernard already loving the way he plays. Niang already loving the way he plays. These two are going to be a dynamite combination for us in this series. Cut to the 53rd minute, and it's Donnarumma making the best save of his young career. A good outside-inside move by Velotti, and he parries it away to the corner. And on the ensuing corner is where this highlight really kicks off. Defense to offense, again on the ensuing corner. It's not very well taken by the man who earned it. It's Velotti sending it out. Donnarumma with the catch, throws it out straight to Wissam Ben Yedder. Plenty of space, and again, that's how I wanted to set up this team. It's a beautiful counterattack. Bonaventura to the man, Niang, and he powers it near side post. 3-0. That would do it for this game. And again, that's what I want this team to be. I prefer pacey forwards. I prefer guys outside on the wings with skill moves to allow them to cut inside, and I really feel like it's going to be beneficial in the Italian league for us as well.
God damn it! Get out of here!
And guys, that would be the game. 3-0 final. A clean sheet debut for Donnarumma. Again, this was a League Cup match, but what a perfect way to start. The 2 goals for Niang, a goal for Bernard, and as you can see, we outshoot Livorno 11-1. An amazing, amazing first game for us, really giving me the confidence. Of course, Bernard had a good first game. Bertolacci wasn't too bad at CDM. Fernandez had a great game defensively, mainly due to his pace. We bring in Carlos Baca as well. He wasn't too bad. I'm glad to have him, but again, Wissam Ben Yedder did wonders for us. And Kevin Prince Boateng, probably going to be our starting CDM. He's an amazing player in this game. And with that, guys, we're actually going to cut off this episode here for the sake of time. In the next episode, we'll play the last 2 games and go through transfer deadline day. So let me know down in the comments below, is there anybody I should keep my eye on here before we go through the transfer deadline? And just in general, what do you think of this series? If you're excited for it, or hey, if you're just excited to see me do something a little bit different, let me know down below. Drop a like as always if you've enjoyed. Subscribe for more, spread the word, and I will see you all next time as we continue Donnarumma's Dynasty.